Welcome class 10 students. Here is the text A Letter to God which is taken from your first flight book. Now before going through the text or before going through the title, we need to understand what the main theme of the story, what kind of message the writer wants to provide through this story. We need to understand about all these things. So A Letter to God, the title gives you a little bit funny implication. How it is possible for a person or common human being to write a letter to God? Is it possible in the real sense? No, I don't think so, because we don't have the exact address of the God. At the same time, we don't know who is God. Okay, so in that sense, it's not possible for a common man to write a letter to God, because uh, before writing letter to a person or to a particular person, we need to have the exact address of that person, then we are able to write a letter to that particular person. But here it's completely funny, it sounds funny. In the real sense it sounds funny, but it gives us a serious message, a kind of serious message, or the writer provides us important lesson, that what kind of faith is needed to have for a person, because strong faith doesn't need the exact kind of logical thing, because if the person has strong faith, he doesn't need to have logical reasoning, he doesn't need to be normal, he doesn't need to be natural. So if the person has strong faith, he can achieve a unnatural thing. In the same way, the writer wants to provide the benefits of strong faith. At the same time, what happens, how the strong faith cannot be shattered, or how it cannot be broken, all these things are described in this story. Okay, so while going through the text, I will try to make you understand about the small themes which are included in the text and the important areas. At the same time, I will try to give you important questions which may come in your examination. So stay tuned with me and try to note down the important areas. I'll try to make you remember which things are quite important. Basically, few words you need to remember, that the strong faith, this is the first point you need to remember, because the whole story centers around the strong faith. One person, okay, I'll try to give you the paraphrasing of the story. At that moment, I will tell you the whole story. Okay, and at the same time, I will try to make you understand about the small themes such as like the rural lifestyle, okay, the humanity, and the strong faith, and the small themes are included in the text. So while going through the text, I will try to make you understand which things are quite essential for your examination. Okay, so let's begin the story. So these few things you need to remember. Please try to note down, because these are quite essential for you. First thing is, the faith need to have a person. Faith is quite necessary for a person to establish anything or to get anything. First thing. Second thing is the humanity which is showed in the text. Humanity. And third thing is nothing but the rural lifestyle. Okay, rural lifestyle. At the same time, another thing is that is what, the nature's cruelty. So all these are sub themes, all these are the included themes which are included in the main theme, with the main theme. The main theme is nothing but the faith, while these are the sub themes which are included with the main theme. Okay, so now let's move to the text. Here it is. The house, the one the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now, in the first paragraph, what we get? In the first paragraph, we get the natural description of a particular land, which is quite good for harvesting. But one thing is lacking in that case, and that is the downpour. Downpour means a kind of raining or heavy rain is needed to have good harvesting, which is not done or which is not happened in that land, and that's why good harvesting is not done for a long time. So here is the house. House is none but the house of that particular character Lencho. So from the house of that particular person, you could watch the entire valley, the whole valley you could watch from the house. Okay. Now, the what kind of natural description is given over here? So from the house we could see the river, the field of the ripe corn and the flowers. All these things could be seen from that particular house. That means this is the natural surrounding which is showed over here. And Lencho is the prominent character of this text. At the beginning of the text he has been introduced, and he knew it very well that his fields, particularly his fields means the several kinds of fields such as like the upper field, lower field. So his fields are suffering from downpour. That means they need downpour, they need rain. Due to lack of raining, the greenery is not available or the greenery is not there in his field. So that's why what he was doing, he was looking towards the northeast sky. Why? Because looking towards the sky gives you three kinds of implication from the literary point of view. From the literary point of view, when one person looks towards the sky, if it is a literary point of view, if one person is with hope, he is supposed to look towards the sky. At the same time, if one person sometimes if one person is irritated with life and he wants to show his reaction towards the God, at that moment the person also looks towards the sky in hopeless condition. And in the case of rural lifestyle or in the case of a farmer, he looks towards the sky with hope and hopeless in both these two conditions. If the rain is not there for a long time, he is supposed to be hopeless looking towards the sky. At the same time, he may be hopeful to get rain. At the moment he is supposed to look towards the sky. So in both cases the farmer can look towards the sky, either it is in the case of hopeless condition or in the case of hopeful condition. Now move towards the here Lencho is looking towards the sky not in hopeless condition, but he has the faith that God will support him and there might be raining. He has the faith. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. Now what kind of line is given over here? He has the faith. I told you earlier that he has the faith. Lencho has the faith that they are going to get some water. Water in the sense no one is going to fetch water for him. Okay, water in the sense they are going to get raining very soon. Okay, so he is talking to a woman. Either it is not clear that it is the woman of that particular man or it is the wife of that particular man. He is conversing with a woman. Either it may be his own wife or it may be anyone else. Let's move to the text, then we will understand. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." So now, not only the man Lencho, but also the woman who has been described over here, and he was preparing supper. Sorry, she was preparing supper, and she has also same kind of strong faith that they are going to get, raining very soon. So both these two characters have same kind of hope and same kind of respect, same kind of faith towards God. And now look, God willing. So that means if the God wants to give water, so he is going to give us water as early as possible. So both these two persons are possessing same kind of strong faith towards the God. Now move to the next thing. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them. Now, so this is the natural scenario which has been described. Basically, these sort of activities could be seen in the rural areas. So, the older boys, in the sense the matured ones, the matured people are working in the field, while the younger people, what we could say in the village areas, what we could say in the rural areas, the younger people, they usually travel here and there, they usually play here and there, sometime in the field, sometime in the road. So, everywhere, as because they are younger ones, so they are not supposed to work in the field, they are supposed to play. So, these things, particularly this particular area is given over here to show you one kind of natural scenario, that is nothing but the rural activities, what happens in the rural areas. Okay. So, the older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them, come for dinner. So, till the late at night, till not late at night, that means till the dinner is going to prepare, the older one, they are supposed to work in the field, while the younger one, they are supposed to play everywhere. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Now, what is going to happen? As because Lencho had the strong path, I told you, no one can shatter the faith, but faith, strong faith has the potentiality or quality to shatter any kind of strong obligation, strong, what it is. If any person possesses strong faith, he can shatter anything, but no one can shatter the faith of that particular person. So, Lencho had the strong faith, he is going to get water, he is going to get raining. So, very soon the big drops of rain is started falling on the earth. So, his prediction is going to be true very soon. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching northeast. So, where he was looking at the beginning, I told you earlier, towards where he was looking, northeast sky. I already told you at the beginning that he was looking where, look at here. Same thing has been described, and cloud is also could be seen there in the northeast side. Okay. This person, look at here. So, where he was looking at the beginning of the text towards the northeast, and same kind of thing is being given over here, that the clouds could be seen where, the clouds could be seen, huge mountains northeast, in the northeast side, huge mountains could be seen, okay, in the northeast sides. Okay. Now, so his prediction is quite good. He was looking towards the northeast south, and huge mountains could be seen approaching towards the from the northeast side. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "They are not raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big coins are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are pipes." Please try to understand, this area is quite important. Here the rain has been compared with the coins. Why it has been compared with the coin? This may be one question, one important question. Because for a long time there was no raining, and that's why harvesting was not done. So that's why they compared the raindrops with the coins, because these are quite precious things. To prove the precious nature of the rain, the author used, the writer used, or the story writer used the word coins. So that means these drops or these raindrops are quite essential, are quite precious for them, and that's why the author used coins. So the bigger drops of water are compared with the 10-cent pieces, while the little ones are compared with the fives. Okay. So these things proves the importance of the water, importance of running. Now move to the next thing. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers, wrapped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen parts. Already I told you, the man, so the moment when the rain started, all the people, all the older people, all the older boys, they are on the field to enjoy the raining. At that moment, what happened? Not only the raining, but also what is going to happen? The hailstorm is going to start in that particular area. Hailstorm, it's very much dangerous for the farmers because it destroys the crops. Okay, so here the boys exposing themselves to the rain ran out to collect the frozen pulse. Here frozen pulse are supposed to be what? Those hailstorms are compared with the frozen pulse. So earlier the older boys, they are on the field to enjoy the raining. Now this time what happened? When there was a hailstorm, what happens? To enjoy the nature or to play with the hailstorm, what happens? The boy expose themselves on the rain or expose themselves, or they come out to the field and they started collecting the frozen pulse. So frozen pulse are nothing but the hailstorm. They are collecting the frozen pulse. This happens particularly. This is the scenario which could be seen. This is also one kind of natural scenario which could be seen in the rural areas, because in the urban areas, if this sort of scenario is going to happen, no one is going to come out from the house or from their building or from their bungalow. But in the rural areas, if it happens, most of the villagers, most of the particularly younger one people, they usually come out from the house and they start collecting the hailstorms. So this is the natural scenario what the author created here to express the natural scenario of our rural area. Now, it's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. So now what happened? So coming of hailstorm, it is not a kind of bad thing what he expressed earlier. But what he thinks, what he thought that it is going to come, so it will be there for a little bit moment, and then one second raining will be started. That is the thinking of that particular person what he had at a moment. But it will not last long, what he had not think. Okay, so he thought that it will last for a few minutes and then 1 second rain will be started, but it lasts for a long time, so it is not going to be very good for the farmers, so it will destroy everything. So I hope it passes quickly. Here this line expresses his hope that the hailstorm is going to be stopped very soon. It didn't pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white, as if covered with salt. So now, as if covered with salt, why it has been said? Why the whole valley is covered with salt? So if the hailstorm covered the whole valley, it is supposed to, the scenario is created such as like that the whole valley is covered with salt. Salt what? Salt is supposed to be white, and hailstorm is also supposed to be white. So if hailstorm covered the whole valley, how it looks? It is supposed to be look like what? The place which is covered by salt. Now, not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lynch's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, look, this is the brutality of the nature. What happens? This is the brutality of the nature. One kind of question may be created, small question or short questions may be created, that what kind of nature's brutality has been given, write down or express. This is the nature's brutality. What they are going to expect, or what they are expecting, they are expecting to get raining. But what happens here? They are not going to get rain. Instead of getting rain, they are going to get hailstorm for a long time. So what happens? The destruction of hailstorm is given over here. How the hailstorm destroys the whole land, whole valley. So the flowers were not there, first of all. Then what happened? He becomes too much sad. The no leaves were there on the tree. The corn was destroyed. So that means the particularly the whole scenario has been changed after coming up hailstorm. So it becomes a kind of plug for them. It's a kind of, it is the natural scenario which made him very much sad now. And what is said at the end? A plug of locust would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. What is said to his son? He said a plug of locust means if locust what kind of insect? If it is going to attack, so if locust will attack the land. If plague of locust means if locust will attack the particular land, it is not going to destroy the whole land. It will destroy a particular area or particular specific area of that land, but it will not destroy the whole land. But here the hailstorm has destroyed the whole valley. Now the hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. What is said in confirmation? What is said that this year they are not going to get corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We all go hungry this year. These are the speeches. These are the speeches which are given over here of the people of that particular land, that all our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. These things proves the helpless condition of those people of that particular land. That this year they are not going to get the corn. At the same time, they must be starved for throughout the whole year. So how they will pass the whole year? All these questions comes in their mind. Okay. So till now, in the next video, I will give you the next elaboration.